Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast. This is a 3 times weekly show looking into the exciting carnage of Ipswich Town Football Club, available on video and podcast. My name is Benjamin Bloom. I'll be here every Monday, well not next Monday because we're going to have a week off, for this, the flagship show with ITFC aficionado David Diamond and Mikey Penty Smith for a sometimes irreverent but always informative hour of football conversation. Make your Monday a Blue Monday. Spoiler alert, we didn't beat them. But I don't think it's in the top 15 of our things to worry about in this podcast. David Diamond,
Mike.
Hello.
Hello, Ben. Where the hell do we start? Where do we start? Christ's sake, what a week.
If I could tear up the iPad, I would tear up the running order. Ladies and gentlemen, sunburnt, Mikey Penty Smith.
It's because I'm a young man. I have to be in the lowest of Bobby Robson's stand and shout and swear and say awful things about Delia Smith. So I paid for it today with the sun.
Yeah, well, you weren't over to the right-hand side, were you, Mikey? With the hardcore?
I'm towards the cobbled side, section.
Oh, you were.
yeah.
Towards the away support, yeah. Was it, I just read a tweet actually. It said there weren't any arrests today. None.
No,
Really?
and that, to me, Can I just say this? That puts to bed the myth that the Station Hotel opening up at 6 o'clock was a bad thing. Because as an away fan, and I know this from experience, if you want to drink first thing in the morning, you will, regardless of whether you've got a pub to drink in or not. So I'd rather a business in Ipswich make some money out of it rather than supermarkets.
Mikey Penty Smith, ladies and gentlemen. What's your Twitter handle, Mikey?
At Station Hotel.
At Mikey, opening himself up for a whole deluge of tweets within 2 minutes of podcast. That's why we're having on. Gentlemen, I had it all lined up. News. I've got a couple of ones that we'll do. The rest of it is transfers in and out. And then I'm like, this now, I think you'll agree, as soon as you saw that tweet come through with the team on, I think that conversation shifts, David, over to that bit, yeah?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
okay.
It was tumultuous, wasn't it?
Yes, our WhatsApp group went bleep, 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 bing, 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 whatever.
Well, it's funny. We're in the Greyhound. Me and Stat were in the Greyhound. Rich was in there, and GB Graham was in there. And it was like little incendiaries going off around the pub. Bart's not playing. Gherkin's in goal. Bart's on the bench. Gherkin's playing.
More of that later, but David, can I just ask you first on our Emir Hughes fetish, the one thing that keeps us happy these winless weeks. Emir Hughes on Monday played a whole game and scored in the 85th minute. Where is your Emir Hughes-ometer in terms of him possibly playing in 2 weeks?
Well, you've got to think there's a pretty good chance he's going to be in the squad, surely. I assume, although it's an international break, there's more than likely be an under-23 game at some point. If not, perhaps an arranged one of these behind closed doors thing specifically for that, I would have hoped. So to get him even more up to speed.
Dave, it's a good thing that the team's really all sorted and settled and he can just slot right into... Yeah, okay, more of which later. Mikey, on Thursday, the FA, upheld the decision to send off Toto Nsiala at Hillsborough this past week. They stood by their man, in the words of, who sings that song, Dave? Tammy Wynette?
Tammy Wynette, yeah.
Tammy Wynette. Always go to Dave for, he'll just correct you after you've got it wrong anyway. Mikey, your thoughts on the appeal?
Was anyone surprised? I mean, I just thought it clearly wasn't a red card. We saw a tackle today during the Norwich game that was much worse.
Godfrey on
still wasn't
Nolan.
That's right, yeah, and that wasn't a red card either. But I guess the referee wrote down in his notes that Nsiala's studs were up and he went in quite hard, so maybe he said excessive force.
Oh, the old excessive force. Get you with the old jeans rule.
Yeah.
I wonder how it all works. I wonder how it all works because obviously he's only now still got a 3-game ban. So they obviously didn't consider it to be
frivolous.
Want of a better word, a frivolous appeal.
No, that is the word they use, Dave.
Well, okay. So how what is the cut-off point for it? It's a frivolous appeal, just a piss take. You know, someone's cut someone in half basically, and all right, we'll just appeal that anyway. Or is there a panel? Is there like 3 people? Is it a 2-to-1 type scenario here? It's an odd one, isn't it? But yeah, I think
frivolous appeal is probably one done by Jose Mourinho to make a point, or Mark
Sam
Hughes.
Allardyce. Yeah.
You're probably right. Yeah, I think you're right, Mikey. I don't think anyone was particularly surprised about that. And you see it from all angles, going back to the tackle last week, and at the end of the day, his studs were showing, and I guess he gave the ref the excuse, but it was a harsh one. I'll tell you what, saw a worse one yesterday in the bloody Millwall game. My God.
Okay.
Wallace.
They will stand by their staff, as all good bosses tend to, don't they? I'm going to lump all these into Friday. I know this didn't all happen on Friday, but absolute insanity here. So in come Jonathan Walters, Jordan Graham. So Jonathan Walters from Burnley until January. I don't know whether that's January the 1st or January the 31st. Jordan Graham on a season-long loan from Wolves, and Matthew Pennington on a season-long loan from Everton. Mikey, take any of those 3 in your own time.
Which one do you think I'm going to pick here, Dave?
I think you might pick Jordan Graham.
Absolutely not. No, John Walters.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, that one excited me because I was still at school when John Walters played for Ipswich, so having a player in the current squad who was there now. No, sorry, I'll repeat that. I didn't make any sense there. Did I actually go to school? It's nice having a player that was in the Ipswich squad when I was at school, because it makes me feel a little bit younger again. But also, he's absolutely the right type of signing because he's a good character. He's a hard worker. He'll be but most of his game is actually just in his head, which is quite unusual for a forward player like him. But he's just such a wily player, and he'll get us a few goals this season. He's a good replacement for Joe Garner because he winds up the opposition. He does the physical stuff well. I just think he said, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was. Even today, we'll get on to today, but yeah, he was quite clever and cute in certain areas today, I thought. Take a player out of those. Well, let's leave Jordan Graham to one side. Pennington, I think, had a spell at Leeds last year, I believe 15 games or something like that at Leeds last year. Young player. I must admit, when it was announced, I think I might have tweeted or something, I'd love to have seen a more experienced player come in. Someone, I know Macaulay was mooted, and I know he's 38, but for a season, half a season, I wouldn't have been too perturbed about that. However, today, as we move on today, I thought he did quite well.
You might get a big Ginger Welsh solution.
Now you're talking. I mean, that it would be a signing. That really would be, and just what we need, I think. But look, we'll see. Because I heard also there's been rumour that, ridiculously, West Ham might even be looking to get him back, for Christ's sake. But yeah,
we're talking some James Collins here.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. That's a really interesting one.
Okay, so here are the guys that went out. So the young players going out on loan. Just quickly, good move, bad move. Josh Emmanuel to Shrewsbury, League One, season-long loan. Dave, good move or bad move?
Good move.
Mikey?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think we owe Shrewsbury one. I don't think we've been particularly classy about the way we've gone about taking their players and also their manager. So yeah, I'll sleep a little bit easier now because obviously I was worried about that.
He's not going to get and he's not going to get any game time. Clearly, he's not. He's just not in his thoughts, is he?
No. Dave, Ben Morris, Forest Green. That's League 2, season-long loan. Good move, bad move.
Yeah, good move. But I think that one we've got a recall on him. I think I read.
Okay, Mikey.
Well, if that's true, then that's perfect because he's got more chance of playing in League 2, and if he does start scoring some goals and maybe one of our strikers gets injured, then I think I was impressed by what I saw of him against Blackburn. So yeah, good move.
David, Luke Wolfenden to Swindon of League Two. Season-long loan.
Unsure about that one. I like the look of him. I really like the look of him. Certainly when he came on against Blackburn, and he can get on the ball and actually pass as well. Drilling passes. But look, if it's a season in League Two to toughen him up, then I haven't got a problem. But he's the one a bit undecided about.
Mikey?
Yeah, he's the one I'm most disappointed to see go out. But I think Swindon will be challenging for at least the playoffs this season, so that'll be good experience for him. I think Swindon are a half decent team in League Two.
Okay, and the best player out of all of these, Tristan Nydam to the Scottish Premiership with St Johnstone. David?
Yeah, again, slightly disappointed about that, but he's not going to play, is he? He's not going to play for it. Clearly, he's down. We've got Emir Hughes coming back. He's very well down the list of midfielders, and obviously Dazzel's still there. He didn't go out. So again, I don't see a great problem with that if it's going to toughen him up, and it certainly will up in Scotland.
Mikey?
Yeah, good move. He'll learn a new language. As long as he stays off the iron brew and the deep fried Mars bars, I think he'll do well.
Who's our Scottish correspondent? MJ. MJ is going to bury you on Twitter.
Sorry,
MJ, as well,
that's
Mikey. Right, shall we go to the team sheet that caused a million tweets? So we're going to go to Norwich today. First, we'll do the normal background. First derby of the season, 9 years without a win. Ipswich, bottom of the league with 2 points. Norwich in 20th, so 24th versus 20th. Not on Sky TV this time around. We'll talk about the luster of the game, Dave, at the end of this, or if there's any left. But what I'll do so we don't get stuck, I'm going to go through the team and then just both make your comments, because I said on my I'll just get my two penneth in quickly, guys. I said on my match review that I left this game knowing less than when I arrived, and I could see a straight line of what I thought Hurst was trying to do, and it just wasn't working yet, and now I can't. So that's my two penneth. Here's this team. So Gherkin in goal. Across the back, Spence, Pennington, Chambers, Knudsen, Skews, Nolan further back today next to Skews, Edwards right, Walters centre, Graham left, Jackson up front. Dave, thoughts?
Okay, other than the obvious, which I'm sure perhaps I'll leave that one to Mikey, the obvious. What
Please don't.
The most... Okay.
No offence, Mikey. I want to hear what Dave's got to say.
What the hell was Gherkin playing and not Bart, for Christ's sake? Has he gone mad? No. Look, if it's going to give Bart a jolt, maybe he just thought Bart was too comfortable there, And let's face it, we said last week, arguably he was at fault for both goals last week. All right, a hell of a big call to leave him out in a game with the magnitude of today. But hey, he's obviously not afraid to make the decision. The most disappointing aspect of it for me was the fullback, the right back, because I assume he got left out because he was the one loanee that they've left out. I don't think it was any injury.
Teo Aiden was... he was on the bench. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, he was on the bench.
From what I understand, I had to leave one loanee out of the squad of the 6 loanees, and I was really surprised it was him, to be honest. But obviously he I assume he had a way he wanted to play today, and he was unfortunate. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me. Rest of the team, I can't say I'm surprised. Walters was in, obviously the centre half, but other than the Bart Gherkin thing, I was a bit surprised about that.
But Mikey, this is not like he's dropping Bart for Michael Crowe. Do you know what I mean? Gherkin is an inexperienced guy. What was your take?
Yeah, he's an experienced guy, but he's not a particularly good goalkeeper. And Bielkowski is a good goalkeeper, and he's made a few mistakes, but I think the laws of averages would suggest that he was due a good game. I think Hurst again is just laying a marker down. I'm the boss. I don't care who you are. I'll drop you. I think it was a statement as much as anything. I think it was a bit of a risk. Thought Gherkin wasn't particularly troubled throughout the game. Obviously, we'll get to that. But I'd forgotten how bad Gherkin's kicking was. Distribution's terrible.
Just the distance,
it's not all about.
Yeah, it's the distance.
You can't kick it. You can't kick it. Although I don't think Bart's distribution's great, but you can just kick it a little bit further. Well, he can't he?
That's the most Warnock comment I've ever heard.
I think
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Good.
That is what it is. Bart, Do you think Bart's distribution's good?
No.
I think it's fair.
I'll tell you something. I think if Bart's
Gherkin's is bad.
I think if Bart's distribution was slightly better, it'd have probably got a move to Premier League.
Yeah.
That's why he can't play.
Yeah. So I agree with I think everything that's been said, and Hurst certainly isn't afraid of saying, "I'm the boss. Here's the 3-time Player of the Year, and I'll decide whether he plays or not." And I think you were right as well, Mikey. Big risk, wasn't it? If we'll talk about the one in the second half. If Gherkin flaps that left hand in the second half and that dribbles in the corner, all of a sudden Hurst looks very silly. But can I just say, football fans don't just exist on Twitter. Ipswich fans are great. When Gherkin ran out today, everyone applauded him. When Bart came back, everyone applauded him. I know we see a lot of this nonsense of people on Twitter trying to be either the funniest or the cleverest bloke, but real football fandom takes place inside that stadium, and they were great in their support for Gherkin. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I picked up on that as well. I was quite proud of that. Because we can be quite a contemporary bunch, particularly at London games. But I think the fans realised that they had a part to play today, and they were very supportive of all of the players. Because obviously Spence came in as well, and it wouldn't have helped him if the fans were getting on his back because he looked so low on confidence.
Right, let's go into this Norwich team. So Krull in goal, Aarons. That was a bit of a surprise. We expected Pinto, maybe Paslat, but Aarons was a bit of a surprise. Hanley and Closer, Lewis we expected. Tetty, Leitner drops back a little bit, so very similar to Nolan actually. Buendia right, Pookie down the middle, Hernandez the real danger man down the left. Jordan, Rhodes. Anything on that, either of you guys?
Pretty ordinary, really. I thought. Really was. No people like Ben Marshall, for Christ's sake. Great player.
What? Ben Marshall, don't you, Dave?
I'll tell you what, I'm glad he wasn't there today with the dead ball kicks. He's just not even in the squad, I don't think. I think that the fault was at Aarons and that Buendia, reading between the lines, had really good games at Cardiff in the Cup during the week.
Okay.
So I think perhaps that's why they got the nod. But I don't even know, was Pinto on the bench? I'm not sure.
No.
No, so injured, you'd think. Okay.
Scared of that Norwich team, Mikey?
No, but we did have Gherkin in goal and we did have Spence at right back, so I was still a little bit apprehensive. But no, I looked at Tetty during the second half, and he's a player that I've always rated quite highly. And I thought it must be strange for him now when he's really the senior player out there, and he must look around and think, what's happened here? Because he used to be surrounded by decent Championship players
Johnson,
and lower
Houlihan, Redmond.
But that's quite funny what he said about Teddy again, because reading between the lines, I think always quite like Alex Tetty, but they don't rate him. I don't think. I don't think the fans Norwich. I don't think. Or is it certain positions?
I think, Dave, I'm going to quote our illustrious previous manager and say sometimes when people have been there a long while, people just want something different, and perhaps we see from the outside a very solid, experienced guy, and they're a little bit bored. But
I think he's like a really well-paid Cole Skews.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
And you love him more when he's missing because you realise what he does.
Let's try and get through this absolute shit show of a first half, because this was horrible, wasn't it?
Worst I've seen.
Yeah. So Graham with a free kick in the first minute. Looked a bit nervous and snatched at that, put it wide. Norwich's first set play. I thought Closer should have scored here, guys. Gherkin kind of half comes and Closer wins it, heads over.
Far post.
Yeah, and that one's coming in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Edwards, nice deep cross to Nolan. His shot's blocked. I'm reaching for stuff here. Nice rehearsed corner here where they all run into the back post and it goes out to Skews, but then he doesn't know what to do with it and just loops the header straight through to the keeper. Chambers takes the yellow on Rhodes. They come together after a direct ball forward. Leitner puts that one in, and Dave, as you mentioned, close heads wide at the far post. Nice move here. Pookie, who really had the only quality in the first half, to Buendia. Tetty then shanks the right footer wide, decent contact. Nice move this on 36. Lovely ball forward. Leitner, Pookie away down the left. Cuts in and shoots. Did that hit the outside of the post?
Grazed it.
Grazed it.
It's not...
So good direct work from Pookie. And then big ball forward falls to Walters, and he larrups it. Absolutely larrups it. Swerving away from Krul. Would have been a difficult one if that had been on target. Just hits the post and bounces out. Another clever corner, and Jordan Graham, you silly boy, goes short to Nolan. Graham gets it. Now, I had a really good view of this. I think he gets closed down and he thinks, I can't get it. If I get a shot off, it's going to get blocked here. And he just, we have to call him out on it. He just knocks it past his man and clearly dives. And can I just say, everyone moaned about the ref at Sheffield Wednesday. How good was this ref today?
I thought he was all right. Yeah.
I thought he was on it. Yeah, I thought he was good.
Yeah.
Gives the yellow. Mikey, what happened to Cole Skews?
I've got absolutely no idea.
Because the corner, he seemed to be in the near post. I think you're right, Dave. Yeah.
He just got clattered, didn't he? And look, when he came off on the old golf buggy in front of us, it looked like they'd strapped up. Actually, he might have sort of moved his arm or something like that. But apparently, Stuart Watson said in a tweet later on that he was up walking about and he was concussed.
It's another concussion job, and there's 2 weeks off. So Chalobah comes in for Skews. Last thing in this half.
I thought Skews defensively, I thought he was excellent today. I thought he was. I know it was a really poor first half, but he was one of the few bright spots for us. He was picking up everything. He looked well up for it. So it was unfortunate for him that he ended up taking an absolute bang. But
in games like that, people like Skews and Tetty always look amazing, don't they? Because it's just right. This is crap, and I can just sweep all of the detritus up off the factory floor, if you know what I mean. One more quick one. Walters bustling free kick. Jordan Graham, good line, closer. Actually, it's actually quite a good header. Flips it over. Dave, why was that first half so bad?
It's just dreadful, wasn't it? I mean, no one could put their foot on the ball. It was okay, derby game, 100 miles an hour, but just no one put their foot on either side. All right, you said Pookie. I thought Lewis, who played in front of me, had a decent first half.
I agree with that.
He's quite a composed player, young kid as well. Yeah, I thought he played quite well. Yeah, exactly what it was. No one put their foot on the ball. No one could pick a pass. We started off a little bit nervous. Well, Spence started off a little bit nervous, but to be fair, Spence grew as the game went on, and I think ultimately, overall, I thought we had quite an okay game. It was just typical Derby, but with very, very low quality. What's here,
Mikey?
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah, I think Norwich did quite a good job of stifling us. They played quite a high pressing game, and they seemed to just have loads of energy. And obviously Ipswich were playing with a lot of energy as well, and it just sort of was they just stopped each other from playing, didn't they? And there was little quality on the ball. There was a couple of corners that Graham whipped in. His free kicks were poor, but he whipped in a couple of good corners. But we didn't really have. Well, we don't have a big centre half now, do we? With Nsiala out.
Okay, let's move into the second half. So Closer had hurt his knee in the first half, but played on. So Godfrey comes in for Closer. And let's enjoy this next 10 minutes, because this is Ipswich's best spell in the game. Chalobah swipes at one from a corner, volleys that one, slashes it over. Mikey, the tackle you mentioned earlier on Godfrey, a yellow card on Nolan. There's a free kick, then a corner, and Chalobah gets blocked out. So territory-wise, good. Big diagonal by Pennington. Walters, he tried this a couple of times, actually. He's in the corner, and I think he was just trying to show the team urgency, wasn't it? It was like, right, one touch, boom, crosses it over, loops up. Jackson, you would have had to have been Joe Garner level in the air to header that in. That was a difficult one.
Neck on it. Yeah.
And Dave, do you want to take this 56 minutes and we're going to take the lead against Norwich.
So we have a corner. I can't recall. Does Graham take the corner? I can't recall who takes the corner. And it was swung in, headed clear as they did most of the day. And it's good, really. I think it's played out of drops to Nolan, who, to be fair, in that first 15 minutes did get involved, I thought, and you can see what he was about. Really nice ball, actually. Sort of clips a ball, sort of diagonal, picks Walters up at the far post, even deeper out from the far post. And it's good by Walters. It's great by Walters. He just, heads it into a good area. A lot of players perhaps would have just tried to nod it back across the 6-yard box, but he just puts it in a good area. Edwards first to react, gets it, turns, good connection. I'm not sure who it deflects off, but just no chance for Krul, was it? Just flat foot and just deflects away off him in the corner. Well, I'm not even sure it was in the corner, but he's just totally wrong-footed.
Mikey, I thought Chalobah did well to keep it alive. I know we've criticised Chalobah's decision making a bit, and I thought what Dave mentions as well. There was a crowd to one side of the box, and Walters was on his own. So I thought Nolan did well, but
it's good ball.
Lucky goal, I think, in our best period, Mikey.
Yeah, but I think we earned that little bit of luck because we really, really went for it that first 10 minutes of the second half, and it wasn't free-flowing football, was it? It was just blood and thunder. We were just getting to every second ball. Nolan was like playing nice, incisive passes rather than just chucking it in the box. Walters was causing problems, and Chalobah was just fetching the ball and moving it forward. That was our best spell of the game, and Chalobah looked great in those moments. But unfortunately, it didn't last for quite long enough.
There's a good chance after this we get a breakaway, and Edwards. I'm sure it must have been either Jackson or Walters makes a great run ahead of him across to the right to open the space up. Davey opened up for a left footer there, hadn't it?
Oh, he's got to hit that left foot. He's got to hit that left foot, and he tries to just. It's weird. He sort of moves it out towards his left foot, then makes an angle and drags it wide with the right. He makes a weird. I say footballers make good shapes. It makes a weird sort of body shape, really. Yeah, that's crying out for a left foot shot.
I think he was trying to open his body and give the keeper the eyes, but Krul knew exactly what he was going to do because there was only one spot. But good chance there. Edwards then.
How close? Could you from where you were? I don't know how close that was.
I don't think it was far wide, but I think Krul was getting it. It was
covered
on target. Yeah.
Good chance.
Thompson comes in for Buendia down the right. Pookie drives again to Rose, to Hernandez. Teti shoots here. Gherkin unsighted. Heart in the mouth here. The left hand comes out, and if he was unsighted, that's a good save. If not, I'm not sure about the technique there, Mikey.
No, it was a little bit school playground, wasn't it? He just it was as if he didn't really want to save it, but just stuck his hand out. But like you said, I think he did see it late. There was a big crowd of bodies, but it was
got a deflection, but it didn't, I don't think.
No, okay.
No, he just saw it late.
From the corner.
Good job it was so central. Because otherwise he probably wasn't saving that.
No.
Hanley's up well. Knudsen. A lot of people seem to have some kind of problem with Knudsen, but when it comes to blocking, being strong, getting in the way, headers and stuff, he's very good. And he's in the right position and he shepherds that out. But this is a real chance. The corner goes in. Teti keeps it alive with the overhead kick. They've lost Hanley 6 yards out, Dave, outside of the right foot, and
I think fortunate was Hanley and not Rhodes. I mean, I don't think Rhodes did a thing all game, but that's the sort of goal he scores, isn't it? Those sort of goals, 6 yard box. So I think fortunately for us, it fell to Hanley.
Ellis Harrison and Max Aarons. Max Aarons is like in the dugout virtually. I don't know what was going on there on 69, but on 70, I do know what was going on, and I didn't like it. Dave. Do this, but be nice to John Nolan.
No, I'm not being nice. Well, there's two things. The free kick, the needless free kick in the first phase of play that Knudsen gives away near the dugout is just ridiculous. The ball's running out. The ball is running out. The player's running towards the dugout. Knudsen just barges him over. And that's when I think the ref gave him a talking to, if you remember. So that first phase of play, needless free kick, and we don't clear it. The ball's launched into the box. We don't clear it. it's not great for Nolan. Nolan's got to hook that clear. Nolan's, he's got a good turn and just whack it away. He's on the edge of our box and he tries to be a bit cute. I think he only succeeds in giving it to it's either Lewis or Hernandez, I think. And they work it quite well. Can he criticise Shalabar a bit? Because he does sort of lose. Initially, I think he's got Leitner, but he sort of loses him and gets dragged towards the ball. But then I think it's a scruffy little bit of play then. I think Shalabar, to be fair, gets his foot in. And that's when it rolls to Leitner. It's quite good play. Shifts it on his left foot. And, those ones either go, get blocked or go right in the corner. No chance for the keeper. No, you can't. No blame attached to him there. Scruffy goal. Two things. Awful free kick to give away from Knudsen initially, and bad from Nolan. He should just put that in the Norwich fans or further up.
I did think Hernandez with the dribble was impressive. Though.
Good play.
Yeah, good play.
I thought, honestly, I thought Spence played him pretty well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Mikey, any more on the goal?
Well, I'll just be repeating what Dave said, but it's funny how you just mentioned something good that Knudsen did. And then I think that's when he's at his worst, because he's clearly a very passionate player. And when the fans get behind him and they cheer him, he then gets... It's like when you score a goal, like you're suddenly pumped full of adrenaline and you want to do something else to get the crowd to cheer you again. And he just clattered into that stupid tackle. And it's just so stupid. And then I think, it was just a bit sloppy down the right. But Hernandez is a good player. Like, that was going to happen at least once. It's just unfortunate that it ended up with a good shot on a goal, but it was a classy finish from Leitner.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he hits it early. Then he gets on his left foot and hits it quite early. Yeah, it's just gutting one, really tough one. But there you
go. We've seen worse, Dave. We've seen worse. Knudsen, long throw here, well cleared by Norwich. Pennington, Dave, as this was coming down, I bet you shouted "big header" because you wanted that to go back in. I mentioned Ian Rush in my video review, Dave. We needed an Ian Rush spin and shot here from Walters, and unfortunately we got...
Have you seen Billy Sharp's goal from yesterday?
No.
Oh, exactly the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just gets it, turns, spins, left foot, far corner. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, he doesn't get it out and spin. He just doesn't, does it? Just, to be fair to him, it just doesn't drop.
And there's that lovely... He's offside. He's onside. Oh, there's that lovely murmur goes round. Hang on. Kick it in the goal,
Tell you what, it's very similar to the Lewis Graben goal 2 or 3 years ago when everyone stops.
That was a muggy goal, wasn't
back in, and he's just 6 yards out, and everyone think must be offside. Oh no, it's a goal. Yeah, very similar.
Well, I said after that, he should have just gone to head it over Krul, but then my mate reminded me that Walters had his back to goal and had no idea where Krul was, so it was just being the expert after the event.
Absolutely, and. That's what podcasts are for, aren't they? Hey, Shabraini in for Rhodes, so Rhodes doesn't score. Ward in for Graham. Harrison in for Jackson. Ward with a bit of a daisy cutter from a short free kick, bit of a waste. But I'll sum up how we played today. I was disappointed they didn't lob it in the box when Ward did that. So that was my feelings on our strengths here. Mikey, what happened at the end here? Long throw in goes. I think Harrison swings a right foot in stoppage time.
Was it Harrison? I thought it was Ward.
It was a black player, and I was up the other end.
I thought it was.
Well,
yeah,
that's racist.
I called a black man black. That's terrible, isn't it?
I just couldn't. It just all seemed so congested. I was amazed that somebody actually managed to get a strike. And look, half decent one of the best efforts of the day, and it went just wide. One of the things that you might not have noticed. Obviously, you don't have the best view in the Lewis Bobby Robson stand, but there was a point in the game where Leitner, I think it was, lost his boot. And when he was holding it in his hand. John Walters knocked it out of his hand and then essentially started dribbling the boot. He was just kicking it away.
Yeah, he kicked his boot away. Awesome. Because he then Leitner ran after the ref, didn't he? He got very excited about that.
If a young player did that, they'd definitely get booked. But John Walters just seems to be able to just get on the right side of the referee and get away with it. It was a good moment, that.
He's earned his stripes. So look, 1-1. We said I alluded to it when I did the Talk Norwich City thing. We kind of said that's the result that doesn't really do anything for anybody. The run keeps going of them not losing to us. The run keeps going of us not beating them. No one jumps up 4 places in the in the league table. No one says, "Oh, the Hurst project is going in the right direction. The Farker project is going in the right direction." I'm pleased we didn't lose, but given all of this personnel stuff, and I would say this for both clubs, this rivalry is not important this season. I'm sorry, it's not. Both clubs need to get their acts together fast in terms of where they're going and what they're doing. And 2 results in local derbies are way down the things to sort out list. Dave, it's difficult because there were so many new players in there, but just talk to me. Who impressed you for Ipswich and for Norwich?
For Ipswich, I thought Pennington had a solid game. Thought he was solid enough. Who I don't know what new players. Walters, and again, Walters just showed that bit of experience. I know Mikey, we had a laugh about him dribbling the boot and stuff like that, but you could see his experience, and I think he added something to the side. I think he did. Jordan Graham, can't see the point. Can't see the point of that at all. I quite like Danny Rowe, proper left-footed player out there. I'm not averse. I don't think he's had the greatest prep start of the season, but Ward, Grant Ward, can't see that Jordan Graham. I just cannot see the point of that one. Maybe just today he wasn't on it today, but I just thought he wasn't in the game.
I think the idea is that he's probably has similar pace to Grant Ward, but has a bit more end product.
He hasn't played that, Mike. He's played 18 games in 3 seasons?
Yeah, I am with you.
I don't see that one at all. Don't see it. I hope he proves us wrong, but sorry. No. But yeah,
if he was fit and he played every game, compared to if Grant Ward was fit and played every game, he'd end up getting more assists and goals than Grant Ward, because that's a problem. Grant Ward's a winger that doesn't really seem to produce anything, apart from he has some flashes of. Well, he works hard and he can be quite good away from home, stretching teams, but he just doesn't do enough for me.
That's just a tough one, Mikey. I think the boy's played 18 games in his whole career. I think I got that right. In his whole career. So he had those 2 games with us, or 2 sub appearances from Villa in about 2013, was it 14, 13, something like that. Mate, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Of course, you want to support the manager and his ideas and bring these players in, but I just don't see what he gives us really on today. But look, it's one game, Cry.
Mikey, was there a sense that the team had been lacking a little bit of nous, not necessarily skill or ability, and Walters gave them some nous? And I know a lot of people don't like Spence, but the way there's things that Spence does where he works the referee a little bit and works the player, and that other players weren't doing your Voldemort dark arts. I actually thought Spence brought some of that as well. Do you think Hurst has just gone, right, this is a derby, I want character rather than anything else?
Yeah, maybe he has, but I'm not sure Jordan Spence really does bring bags of character. And although he did play well today defensively, but this is a real bugbear of mine, and Spence he does this all the time. And I play right back, and I'm not a professional, and I'm not even a semi-professional. I play in the Leatherhead District Sunday League, Premier Division though. And shout out to the Oxford Royals.
There it is.
But as a fullback, it's almost rule number 1. If the ball goes out and you're 10 or 15 yards away, the first thing you should look to do is to offer yourself as an option. And so if the midfielder's closer to the ball, get him to pick it up and throw it back to you, and then you've got possession again. Quite often Spence, he'll have no one around him, and he just trots up, and the midfielder's got the ball in his arms, and Spence puts his hand up and says, "No, I'll take it." And he does that every single time, and it's because he doesn't want to take any responsibility, and that's just he's obviously just doesn't have any confidence. And he defended well, but he just doesn't want the ball. And I don't want us to play with fullbacks that don't want to get on the ball. And Knudsen pretty much does it as well. I thought we were over his long throws. They're just loopy balls. And then that free kick in the last minute of injury time. Did anyone think that ball was going anywhere other than into the goalkeeper's arms? Blackburn, I praised him after the Blackburn game because he tried something different and played one down the line. And then we eventually scored from it, albeit with a bit of a fluke. But yeah, Knudsen, he's so predictable, and Spence as well. But yeah, but no, I do. But sorry about that rant. But yeah, I think bringing Skews back in, having Walters in there, bringing Spence in to a certain degree, we were winning a lot of fouls, and we maybe weren't in.
That was what I was alluding
trouble.
to.
Yeah, and I do agree with you, Ben. But sorry, that just seemed like a good chance to get my anti-Jordan Spence thing out there.
I think you're right, Mikey. I think defensive-wise, I thought he played Hernandez quite well. Goal. You couldn't say it was Spencer's fault for the goal. It wasn't. Hernandez will get at some point. Will have a little bit of trickery and get the run on his defender. He will, and he probably only did it once, twice, maybe. I thought it grew into the game. Nervous start. I just the one gets me every time, and I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't, because I think he had a half decent season last season, but God, I'm not convinced.
Shall we go to?
But I can see why. He's strong and he's good in the air, and I don't know.
Should we go to?
We'll see.
Should we go to some questions? There's so much to kind of discuss, and I think we need to kind of figure out where on earth Hurst is with this squad of players, because if this goes right, it'll be Hurst is now just add in what he needs to and away we go. If this goes wrong, it's going to be we tried one thing, and after a month bottom of the league, we then tried something else and ditched the first thing, and it's going to look like a bit of a muddle. And maybe we do another show. You can do one of your State of the Unions next week or something, Dave, and try and figure out who ranks where in the squad, because I'm not now sure who the two centre halves are going to be. No one knows. Basically, you make the point, Mikey. Other than the fullbacks, we don't really have a clue what the team is.
I think Chambers and Enciala will be the centre halves. I thought the lad came and did well today, but he won't. I don't see him dropping Chambers. And Chambers had an okay game today. He kept Rhodes quiet. Rhodes was very quiet, I thought. I think Chambers and Enciala will be centre halves, and I think Donatian will be the fullback. But it's just
who's the goalie, Dave?
It'd be in some ways it'd be an even bit more ridiculous now if he drops Gherkin and brings Bart back in for the next game, won't it? Is he just what was that to show? He's just making a point that no one's undroppable. I don't know.
Does your point not fall on deaf ears if you then immediately bring the guy you've dropped back?
Of course it will. I think the core of the side will still be Chambers, Skews,
Knudsen.
Yeah, I think so. So. And now probably Walters, as Mikey said,
Right,
Edwards will play. When he's fit as well.
Of course, yeah. And I think Nolan. I like Nolan, neat and tidy. I tell you what, I like about Nolan as well. He's not afraid of a tackle as well. He'll mix it as well. There's a good player there.
He crunched into one late on in the game.
Yeah.
I think he was pleased to get that one in because it wasn't really.
But Mikey, did the whole when he did that? Did the whole stadium say, "I wish you bloody did that for the goal 10 minutes before"? But there you go. Right, let's do questions. Try and go fairly quickly, and we'll try and get through all of them. Mikey, will Hughes start? Vinamaipo at Vinamaipo1. Will Hughes start away at Hull on September the 5th, Mikey?
I'm going to say no, but I don't think it will be long before he does start again, especially if Skews is injured. I think he's got a good chance, and I can't wait to see him out there again.
David, same tweeter. Did Bart deserve to be dropped?
Yes.
Andy G, Mikey, I think Nolan is struggling to find his feet in the Championship. Would you drop him or persevere?
I disagree a little bit, and I would persevere with him. I think he's just finding his feet. He's probably been a 6 out of 10 most games. So hopefully, as long as he doesn't just stay at that level and he improves a little bit, I think he maybe needs a goal, and then he'll be a bit higher on confidence. But he's a neat and tidy player, and I think Hurst really likes him. So yeah, I'd persevere.
Jack Barham, I think we've covered your questions. Who impressed you, and do you think Hurst was right to drop Bart? Dave, this is at Ginger Eagle 73. how much input does Hurst have with the player intake? Word has it that Walters was an ME signing. Not sure if true, but glad it happened. Ignore the second bit totally. How much does Hurst have with player intake?
Well, you'd hope everything, for goodness sake. Surely, yeah, they're going to be his call. I heard much the same thing about Walters, but so what's he been told? Well, I'm getting in John Walters, and by the way, you're going to play him every game starting on Sunday. Really? I don't know. I don't.
Hurst doesn't seem like the type of manager that would bring in a club legend, because he's trying to stamp his authority, and maybe Walters threatens that a little bit. But hopefully, Walters is the same top professional that he was when he was at Ipswich the last time, and it'll all come together.
Mikey, this is at Ollie Finegold. Sorry, Ollie, if I've butchered that. What did you make of the atmosphere inside the stadium today? How does it rank compared to previous derbies? Can we get you on that as well, Dave? Mikey?
So for me, I thought it was better than last season at home. More positive. It felt good walking to the ground today, and maybe it was because it was such nice weather, but everyone seemed to be pretty positive. Obviously, the game was so bad; it was never going to be absolutely rocking like it was a few years ago. But no, it's probably the best home atmosphere against Norwich since the playoff 1-1 game, which obviously had a lot more riding on it. But yeah, when Ipswich, maybe it's not a good sign, but when Ipswich were going through it at the start of the second half, I think the crowd reacted well, and also they were positive, and like Dave mentioned, didn't criticise Gherkin unnecessarily. So yeah, overall I'd say it was better than normal.
Dave, you've been to 7,000 games at Portman Road. Atmosphere?
I have, yeah. I think they had a far better atmosphere than the UEFA Cup final, actually. No, it was... No, it was good. It was great today, wasn't it? It's a great atmosphere. It's lovely. Christ, it was lovely to see 25,500 people in the ground, for Christ's sake. I don't think, with Norwich and safety and stuff like that, I'm not sure it could hold many more today. Probably, maybe, I don't know, 1,000, whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, from that point of view, fantastic. Good atmosphere. And I think Mikey's right. Certainly the best since the playoff game at Portman Road.
This is Brad. Let's put paid to these Bart questions, because if I ask you both one question and you can give one word answer that's either Białkowski or Gherkin, okay? Who plays at Hull, Dave? Białkowski or Gherkin?
One word, Gherkin.
Mikey?
Gherkin.
Okay. This is Matt Phillips. Whose turn is it? It's Dave's, isn't it? Do you agree with Mick Mills that Hurst has made too many changes following the previous regime, a hurricane rather than a wind of change?
Scorpions.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take me to the magic of the moment. Do you not know that one, Mikey?
What have I done, Mikey? What have I done?
And the wind of change.
Yeah. What was the question?
We're the children of tomorrow. Has Hurst gone...
I can't believe you went to Stoke High School, Ben. I really can't. It must have been hard.
It was wonderful. Happy days.
Stoke High School for Performing Arts.
Yeah, right. What was the question?
What was the question?
Too many changes too fast. A hurricane rather than a wind of change.
Correct. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, there've been too many changes. Probably yes.
Chris Hodges, Mikey, if we sign James Collins, big ginger ninja, would you expect him to be a squad player or a first team starter?
That's a toughie. I think he will come in and be a squad player, but I'd be a little bit worried about Chambers. He's going to have to do everything right on and off the pitch with Collins coming in, because I think it might be him that misses out if Collins does come in.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the games, Ben. I think NCR, last week to one side has been perhaps one of our better players. Certainly at Derby, I thought, and games off scene.
Yeah, but Dave. The thing that's worrying me is everyone's on side with Hurst, right?
Yeah.
Don't take on Waghorn, don't take on Bart, and don't take on Chambers. They're the people that, do you know what I mean? And he handled Waghorn really well. And I think that went as well as could be expected. He's dropped Bart, and We'll see. You just wonder whether there's a lot of love for Chambers out there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be really looking to erase the old regime, doesn't he?
Indeed.
But look, I think Chambers, club captain, I think, Mikey, you're right. I think he leads by example, doesn't he? I really do. I don't see him dropping Chambers unless he really has some calamitous sort of games. And I think he's been reasonably consistent this season, Chambers, hasn't he?
I think he's been pretty good from what I've seen.
Yeah.
At Cobbold Massive, who's starting to do his attendance giveaway, so follow him at Cobbold Massive. You can both take this one, yes or no. Did we play better with skews on the pitch, Mikey?
I'm going to say no, but it wasn't necessarily Skews' fault.
Right,
he played quite well.
Yeah, I think that makes some sense, Dave.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Matteo has asked about James Collins, so we'll move on there. Josh has asked about Gherkins. I think we've done that. Tim. Hi, Tim. Tim, Canterbury, Chaucer. Would Madison have destroyed us today? Dave Diamond.
Would Madison have destroyed us today?
Of course he would.
Because he would have done. Christ, have you seen him? Did you see him play against Liverpool yesterday?
I don't watch the Premier League. Don't do it.
Man, I don't know if you saw any of it, Mike. He was their best player. He was outstanding yesterday.
I didn't know, but he's brilliant, and he's exactly the type of midfielder that England need.
Yeah, he's really stepped up, and Mikey's right. It wouldn't be surprised me come. Well, he's obviously not in this squad, is he? Or unless I've missed it, I don't know. There's a game coming up. I think.
No, he's missed out, but I don't think it'll be long before.
No,
he does,
I honestly think you're right. Yes, it's very pleasing. What was nice, we spoke about it last week. It was nice to go in a derby and there's no Houlihan on the bench and there's no Madison.
Darren Eady. Yeah.
There's no Grant Holt. He finally retired last week, I think. So yeah, that was kind of nice. But yeah, I agree with Mikey. Yeah, there was he perhaps would have added some quality to their midfield without doubt.
Dave, I think you've started to do this. This is ITFC Alex. Hull lineup. We're going to let Harry and Rich Woodward do that in about 2 weeks, I think. I think we'll palm that one off. Simon on Bart. George. Mikey, do you agree the team showed a lot more passion and spine than we saw in the derbies? You said Ipswich bottled derbies on a previous podcast. Did they show more passion and spine than in derbies under the previous manager?
No, not necessarily. When I say that they bottled them, they bottled good situations. That's what I meant. I think under McCarthy, they were always up for it, and they always worked really hard as usual. I just think we went for it a little bit more today. Like even at the end, even though it didn't come to anything, when we had that free kick that Knudsen floated into Krul's arms, we did throw players forward, and I could imagine under Mick, he'd have got a couple of players to stay back and just taken the point. So yeah, it's good to see that Hurst and the Ipswich players clearly wanted to win the game.
This is Nathan, Dave. Does the fan reaction of us not satisfied but their fans happy with a point prove that Ipswich are the team on the up with Norwich on the decline?
I don't think so.
Might be a home away.
I don't think so.
Thing that.
I don't think so. I just think because they're going to crow because the bloody run goes on to, 11 games now or 10 is it now? I don't know. The 2009 unbeaten run just goes on and on, doesn't it? Because they're going to crow about that.
Dave, I think you've covered this.
Crew.
Crew?
Sorry, that was just Norfolk for crow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Timu Pookie.
Timu Pookie drives a Ford Escort RS Turbo.
Dave, this is Jules, our friend Jules.
Old car. Sorry, Mike, it's an old car.
I think you've covered this, Dave. Where were the 4,000 to 5,000 empty seats at today's game? Is that segregation and magical Vegas banners?
Christ, there was about 200 police, where you never see it at a game. So yeah, I think that's what it was.
Harry Butcher, Mikey says, how were you feeling after the Ipswich goal? I went mad. And then he's addressed this, Ben. Did you finally think this was the year for the heartbreak to end? Harry, as I said, I don't think this is I wouldn't be heartbroken if we get our stuff together this season and the project goes in the right way and we lose the away game. I think the heartbreak of this is not necessarily the most important thing at the moment as they try and sort the squad around and hope that the manager doesn't irritate the player of the year, the captain and the top scorer from from last season in two quick succession. P.S. caveat, I am totally behind Paul Hurst and hope it all goes well. Mikey?
Can I just... Harry, he seems like... I've seen his tweets quite a lot. He seems like such a nice, positive young lad, so good for him.
Harry's great.
I went absolutely...
Good on you, Harry.
I went absolutely wild when... Edward scored. I almost fell backwards over the chair behind me.
Guy beside me actually broke his seat.
Okay. Do you have to pay
that's in the co-op stand?
That's in the co-op family enclosure, for Christ's sake.
They're going wild in the
co-op
stand.
I loved that there was, although I'm not condoning it, but it was the Ipswich fans on the pitch, because it was the first time we'd scored at that end in a derby since the last time we beat them.
And also, Mikey, we have not taken the lead in a home game against Norwich. I know Statman will probably do all of this.
Ever.
Yeah,
Mikey, it's not. Mikey, it weren't actually. Jimmy Bullard, remember? Thunder Bastard, top corner. I think that was at that end.
That game didn't happen.
Oh, I see. Sorry, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, erased.
So, I think we've kind of picked the bones out of that. I genuinely think we need a couple of weeks to ruminate on this squad where there seem to be about 25 players to go into 18 now, 6 loanees to go into 5, and certainly 16 players to go into 11.
I've said it before on the pod in previous years that he almost needs to, in some ways, by accident, and God forbid we start picking up loads of injuries by injuries or suspension, almost just stumble across a team that all of a sudden it just clicks and it works. It sometimes happens like that.
It does. Really quickly, sorry, I wanted to just talk about Caden Jackson, because I know it's a hard game against Hanley and Closer. I know Godfrey came on. Where are we on Caden Jackson? He's been very quiet in all his games, hasn't he?
You can't knock the boy's energy and stuff, but I think he's a bit like Harrison. For me, the ball just doesn't stick to them enough.
Mikey?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We need to find a way of getting the ball over the top for him to run onto. A little bit more. I don't know what it was about him today, because I couldn't put my finger on one thing that he actually did well. But I liked him. I liked what he was about, and I actually thought if he got a chance, he seems like the type of character that would take it. Obviously, that's knowing that he has scored quite a few goals elsewhere, but. Yeah, I think he might be a better finisher than Ellis Harrison, or a little bit more composed in front of goal. But Harrison does win a fair share of headers. But yeah, one of them has got to start scoring, though.
Dave, do you think that there's a little sense that Hurst was doing something? He's taken the Norwich game completely in isolation and did what we needed to not lose today. Do you think we might go back a little bit, because it was, like you said, Mikey, blood and thunder, up and at them, a bit more direct. Ben. Do you think, this whole plan of midfielder drops in, centre half split, fullbacks go forward, wingers come inside, number 10 on the ball, and like Mikey was saying, playing through teams. Do you think we're going to go back to that?
I hope so. And I think you're right. I think today, not just because he left Bart out and stuff, I think today, let's put today's one side, because today's just always a mad game. It was always a mad, full-on game, and I don't think really you can. All right, let's say there were two fairly poor sides looking at the match's overall quality, but I'd hope so. Because there was signs. Was it Sheffield? Well, wasn't it Sheffield Wednesday? But were they trying to play at Sheffield Wednesday? It wasn't like today, was it?
They were still.
Yeah, so I'd hope so.
Mikey, on that?
Well, I think we would have played a little bit more had Norwich not stifled us so much in the first half. And then I think by the second half, maybe we realised that, our best chance was to just play it long a little bit. But I'll be surprised if that's the way that we play at Hull. I think we'll make the pitch bigger again and play a lot better football. But it almost worked today.
Yeah.
Hopefully you see. I think we missed him a bit, because I think he's got quality. I was a bit surprised, a bit disappointed that the lad from Fulham didn't start. But there you go.
Good player.
Maybe he will at Hull.
Right. let's try and get through this roundup nice and quickly. Bielsa 0, Pulis 0. Borough have 5 clean sheets on the trot. Who's going to finish higher out of Leeds and Borough? Dave?
All right.
Mikey?
I'm saying Borough as well.
Very good. Sheffield
But
United.
Leeds fans will have a lot more fun along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
that's for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, God, without question.
Sheffield United 4, Villa 1. Blades up to third with the 4th win on the trot. Villa, in contrast, no wins in 4. Dave on Sheffield United.
Good. Yeah, very good. I see they've also just signed Connor Washington, haven't they, from QPR. Yeah, good. I mean, McGoldrick, from the highlights, I saw the brief highlights, McGoldrick looked like he was having a lovely old time.
Stop it!
Heavily involved.
He looked brilliant,
heavily
didn't
involved. Yeah, or there was one ball to sharp. Admittedly, he was offside. Wowzers, eye of a needle stuff. They look good, mate. And I tell you, did look good. They got also great sign, that Oliver Norwood, who scored a ridiculous free kick. Okay, you put it down a poor goalkeeping, but one great delivery for O'Connell to score and one brilliant free kick where a bit of who's the Liverpool player that did it to Champions? That was the Champions League, Ben. He did it to he gave Czech the eyes in the Champions League, didn't he? Forget who he was. And that he's way out. And it looks like it wasn't it, Agger? I think it might have been. Where he's way out and he looks like he's just got to throw the ball in and he just makes a great shape and hits it near post. Yeah, they look really, really good. He's good, that Wilder, I think, isn't he? He's really good. Yeah, they look like they could well finish up there, yeah.
Let's move on. Hull 1.
But, sorry, just quickly, Villa, again, to put it in context, Villa had just got in Yannick Bolasie and Tammy Abraham.
Stop it. Yeah, good luck, Blades finishing above that, yeah. Hull 1, Frank Lampard's Derby 2. You got a Waghorn goal, Claxon, Mikey, but more importantly, Ipswich's next opponent's not very good at the moment.
Yeah, but yeah, we weren't particularly good today, were we? But it's another good opportunity for 3 points, I suppose. But yeah, Nigel Atkins, I don't know, like he keeps getting jobs, doesn't he? He's a bit of a David Brent.
Yeah, watch the poem video on YouTube. I try and watch it once every month or so. It's absolutely beautiful.
They've just got.
He has the same hair as a 12-year-old boy, albeit grey. 12-year-old boy in about 2000.
Benjamin Button.
Not naming any names.
Yeah.
They've just got in Tommy Elphick and Chris Martin.
As you do.
Oh.
I saw them both play for Reading when they got hammered by Millwall last season. Okay. Brentford 2, Dave. Forest 1. Forest can't get going, but they're not really losing. Brentford still in a nice spot. Playoffs for Brentford?
Yeah, again, you cast them in the same sort of mould as perhaps Sheffield United. Yeah, good. Well, they're here, aren't they? Tuesday after the whole game. So next home game's Brentford in midweek. Yeah, nice side, and I think they just from what I saw, just about deserved it. Ollie Watkins, I think, scored the winner, didn't he? Good player.
Lovely
stuff.
It's good.
Yeah.
Millwall 1, Mikey. Swansea 2. Early red for Swansea. Millwall lead. 10-man Swansea. McBurney with the winner. And I had to just get this stat in. Bersant Selina has played 540 minutes by September the 1st for Swansea. Didn't start a game for Ipswich until September the 26th last season. So maybe we did all the hard work to get him set up, or maybe he fits into Swansea a little bit better. But a bit surprised by Millwall throwing that one away at the Den.
Yeah,
they were maybe a little bit naive, but that counter-attack goal that McBurney finished off, that was brilliant. I think Selina was involved as well. I think he played maybe the
Montero, didn't he?
That was an excellent goal.
I think it helps when they can bring Jefferson Montero on a sub with 20 minutes to go, whatever he had.
Jefferson Starship.
And a good celebration as well from Graham Potter, where he's sort of just running up the touchline with his arms out. I was really happy.
Jose Mourinho style, yeah. Preston 2, Bolton 2, Dave. Preston throw away a 2-goal lead before half-time. Still only have one win.
Ridiculous goal in this game by Alan Brown. Do you see it? The swivel, the left foot volley.
I haven't seen anything this bloody weekend.
Watch this goal. My God. Just swivels on it, left foot volley, ball comes, just turns one movement. Such a hard skill.
Good player, Alan Brown. Goal. He is not going to be there long. Yeah. Mikey, West Brom 2, Stoke 0 in the Tony Pulis derby. Gale onto 3 goals now. Stoke are struggling a bit, aren't they?
Another brilliant goal as well. The Gale's first goal was brilliant. So good. Sorry, repetition of the word brilliant there. Tremendous goal.
Lovely goal.
He's such a good championship striker.
He's a brilliant championship striker, yeah.
We're going to have some problems against him.
Having said that, it was 2-1, Ben. Did you not see Eric Peters thunder bastard in the last minute?
Did not. So I've got that wrong, basically, Dave.
Sorry, I didn't want to call you out there.
No, you call me out.
What I thought about Gale's first goal, there was a bit of Bergkamp-esque about the turn, wasn't it? The little pirouette turn. Bergkamp
classy. If we just quickly, if you do, there were some really good goals this week in the championship, but look out for a goal that Colchester scored. They scored a free kick from about 30 yards into the top corner. It was excellent.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, they're going all right.
We might be playing Colchester next season.
Stop it.
Rate.
Wigan 1, Rotherham 0. League One foes last season. Vaughan gives Wigan 10 points from 6 games. Whose turn is it?
Don't know. It's Dave's turn.
Yeah, doing well. I think again he's a player, and James Vaughan. He's another one of these players that seems to, he'll come on and nick you a goal, and I can remember him doing that for perhaps Huddersfield at Portman Road. I'm sure he did. Experienced player. Yeah, they're doing well, aren't they? Wigan are doing well. Again, Rotherham, they're going to be down there. I mean, I was saying to my boys on the way here that on the way to match today that if we'd have won that game at Rotherham, perhaps like we should have done with all the first half dominance and that, really our season with a point today, our season really wouldn't look too bad, would it? Particularly, it was that bloody game where we conceded in the last minute. If
my auntie had balls,
yes, I know.
My uncle.
Correct.
Reading 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Did we go above Reading today? Were we 1 point below?
Yes.
We did. Wonderful stuff. So we're not bottom anymore.
No.
I didn't do the extrapolation. Mikey, Reading 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. I'm going to throw something in here. How have Sheffield Wednesday won 3 games on the trot? They are not very good. That's pure championship. Anyway, sorry. Reading 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Well, I think you've answered your own question there. A lot of the championship isn't particularly good, but that just shows that momentum's everything. If you can get one win, you can easily just pick up another couple, and that's our next 2 games are massive. If we need to get a win at Hull, and then suddenly if we get a win against Brentford, we're on 9 points, and it's not looking too bad then. But I mean, that is, again, we're speaking hypothetically, and with Ipswich tinted glasses, but.
We've got Bolton on the Saturday, I think, haven't we? So 2 home games in that week.
Interesting.
But they're not going to be easy. They're both up there, aren't they? They're both top 10.
On my iPad, because this is Sunday and I'm all discombobulated, it says Bristol v Blackburn. No idea what the score was. What happened, Dave?
It was 4-1 to Bristol City.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Did Andreas Weimann score?
I don't know.
Did Adam Webster play a diagonal ball with his left foot followed by a diagonal ball with his right foot?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
And how is Bradley Dack, who's never played in the Championship, who's a very good player, worth 15 million or more than 15 million because they didn't accept it?
That was cool, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure if he played today because he's been injured, hasn't he? So I'm not sure if he played.
Is that where we are though now, where someone who's played 5 Championship games is now worth 15 million? So now League One players are worth 8 figures.
Yeah, that wasn't going to a Premier. That was West Brom, wasn't it? Was it West Brom? It was
West Brom. Birmingham 0. Rangers 0. Is that are we getting a crap from you for that as well, Mikey?
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on. Because it's Sunday, I went to Wagamama instead of doing extrapolation because I was hungry. So Ipswich are in what position?
23rd, I believe.
23rd with 4 points. 3 points.
3
points.
A lady in front of me on the way back. I said, God, that was fairly obvious. We're going to struggle all season. But hey, good Ipswich fan putting a bright spot on it. Yes, but we're unbeaten at home.
Yes.
Can't argue with that.
Love that.
Can't argue with that. Grasp that straw. Yeah. Grasp it. Hang on to it tightly.
So I can do this. 3 points from 6 games is 0.5 points per game. So we're up to 23 now. So only dismal relegation without humiliation. At this rate, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying what the extrapolation means. We had 5 guys on 450 minutes. One of them was Bart, and I think one of them was possibly Chalobah. So there's only going to be 3 players who've played every minute, and I'm assuming they are Knudsen. One of them would have been Skews as well, probably. No, Skews had a
No, Skews
game
didn't
off,
play last
he?
week. It might have been Donasian.
I think you're right,
Yeah,
actually.
I think you're right.
Who's left on perfect minutes?
Chambers?
Only Knudsen. Oh, Knudsen and Chambers, yeah.
Chambers,
Wow.
sure.
They're falling. Guion Edwards, though, is out front now on 2 goals. That's 2 goals.
Yeah, he was good again today. Yeah, sometimes I think his final decision making isn't all it should be, but he's so exciting when he likes to get at his fullback. He's been a great so far, brilliant, great signing. Yeah.
Who got the assist? Did it come off? No, it was a deflected goal.
Well, I suppose, yeah. Okay.
Did anyone touch it?
Walters, I suppose, got an assist for that, would he? Knocked it back.
See that. I haven't heard from the Renegade Statman. We're all discombobulated, like I say, because it's Sunday. So
he went to a barbecue.
Oh, okay. So Statman's at barbecue, so no number of the week. Perhaps we'll pick that up on this week in ITFC history, which was happily back.
Did you get his answer from last week? That was a good one last week. The 60. Did you?
I know
what that was.
What was it, Dave?
It was the 60th game that Ipswich had played in Sheffield.
Did any of the listeners get that?
I don't bloody know. I don't know.
That's
God knows.
Unbelievable stuff. Yeah.
Tenuous stat.
Speaking of tenuous, let's go to Two Little Ducks. And if you, I don't know why I've made this so hard. It's too hard. I'm going to give you clues on this one, and if you get
today's game,
if you get more than 4, you've done well.
4. Right,
okay,
go on then.
So we are going back, and you can work together here. So Two Little Ducks, you know the rules. We're going back into the annals of Ipswich Town history. I've picked out a game. Dave and Mikey are going to name as many of the 22 players who started. If they get one wrong, they are out. They can play their golden goose at any time. But and I do need to apologise again to Dave because I got in trouble on Twitter. Right. I messed up last week and I told him he was out before he was actually out. That was completely my fault. It was accidental. And these rumours that I bully Dave are not true. It was an accident. And Dave, I'm very sorry again. I'll look down the camera. I'm very sorry.
Apology accepted, Ben. Apology accepted. I was only grumpy till Thursday.
Very good, very good. Right, are you ready for this, Mikey?
I'm ready.
Jonathan Walters returned to Ipswich on loan this week, but his previous game was on the 7th of August 2010. It was the first game of the 2010-11 season away at Middlesbrough, which Ipswich won 3-1. Okay, so the opening day of the 2010-11 season, Ipswich away at Middlesbrough. Obviously, I've given you a very helping hand because I've already given you 1 there. Anybody want to get in there first?
Tamas Priskin.
Oh, I've got 2 at once. So we're going to give you a big thumbs up for Tamas Priskin, and we're going to give you a big thumbs up for Luke Hyan. Tamas Priskin
debut
scored. Was that his debut? Was it on the 51st?
Might have been Hyan's debut. Was that? What season was this again? 10?
Right, 2010, 2011. You're already on 2, so this is good. Right. Anyone want to throw any of the proverbial against the wall?
10, 11. So
can I play my golden goose early?
You can, Mikey.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm going to say Tommy Smith.
You're going to say Tommy Smith. You're going to be right because Tommy Smith scored a minute before Tamas Priskin. Can I tell you a little story? I was doing a gig. I was driving. This is pre-tolls on the QE2 bridge. Driving over, and I still had Graham on my radio, BBC Suffolk, going over Dartford Bridge, which is pretty good. Huh? You know, especially in 2010. Yeah, I turned it on in Ipswich, drove all the way down there, and as the Priskin goal went in, I got onto the bridge and I lost my reception. So I didn't know what happened after that.
Okay.
Game was over by that point.
I don't know if that was funny or clever or insightful, but that's what happened.
Right. This might be wrong, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh.
I know Mikey's played a golden goose.
No, he hasn't, and you both get one.
Okay. Golden goose, Grant Ledbetter.
Yes. So that's one of the golden guy gone.
Did he play?
He started, Dave.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Very good. So you got the 4.
Do you reckon Carlos Edwards played, Dave?
Shout, isn't it? Because he came with Ledbetter, didn't he? I'd be fairly confident and say yes, he did, unless he was injured and he's mugged us off big time.
Carlos Edwards did play. Guys, do you remember why I picked this game? Because you're missing out on the most obvious one in the world.
John Walters.
John Walters is the 6th one. There you
Got it in
go.
early.
Yeah.
Who'd have played for Borough?
Mate,
I think maybe
the Borough team is weird. Can I help you out? I think possibly Gordon Strachan is here and might have signed a load of players from Scotland.
So was Flood playing?
Yes, Willow Flood. That's 7.
Willow Flood.
What a play, Willow Flood. Yeah.
Did they have a striker with lots of hair, Ben? Quick striker.
Billy Ashcroft. No, that was back in. And that's not an answer, by the way.
I could be wrong, but I don't want to say yes and stitch you up because Twitter will eat me
Okay,
alive.
I'll go with my golden goose and I'll say Marvin Emnes.
Your golden goose is no good. No Marvin Emnes there. I think a bit too early there. But you're still safe on 7. This is good.
I would say 2010, Gareth McCauley.
Yes. 8. Whether I have to hold my fingers up to remember 8.
Do you think?
Don't know.
Because Damien Delaney, Dave, was a little bit out of favour at times under Roy Keane, and I think that was his 2nd season.
Yeah.
McCauley was probably centre back with Smith, which meant Delaney was probably on the bench.
Yes, you're right about that. I'll help you with that. So don't go down that road.
So who do we think was playing?
Who do you think was in goal?
Was that
Fulop?
Martin did play that year. Yeah,
Martin Fulop.
Martin Fulop. Yes, number 9.
Yeah.
This is good, boys. I'm very impressed.
2010. And I've still got a golden goose, haven't I?
Yes.
And I played it, didn't I? And I've still got, but it was right, so I've still got it. Yeah.
No, you didn't play it, did you?
No. Okay. No, I didn't. Golden goose. Jason Scotland.
No Jason Scotland there. I'm reading very carefully.
Hang on, Ben. Sure he's not on the bench?
He is not on the bench.
Okay. All right.
So you're still on 9, but no golden gooses. This is sudden death now.
Was 2010... I'm just trying to think back to that season. Was that the season we had that ridiculous game in the snow against Leicester that was on telly? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when it almost got a ban. That's why I said Scotland, because I know he scored a couple in that game.
The only time I got booked for a gig and didn't make a gig that day.
Oh, shocking. Go on, Mikey.
David Norris?
Yes, 10.
Yeah, Obs. We nearly got the whole Ipswich side. Who the hell would have been left back, though? Did we say Delaney? He was bench when he Delaney?
Yeah, he's on the bench.
Don't go down that avenue. Yeah, he's not around.
Oh. Who would have been left back? Have I said... Did I say John Stead?
John Stead is a used sub, so you're okay with that one.
Okay. I think he might have scored.
Yes, he did. Yeah, you're right.
So who scored for Middlesbrough?
Wow. Okay. Centre half would the kid that
Dave, if you remember when we did the show after the Blackburn game, we did an Ipswich Middlesbrough game, and I think that was the following season. So if you can think of any of the Middlesbrough players, because I remember Woodgate, but I don't think he was there for more than one season.
Downing wouldn't have been there.
Downing wasn't there. No, he was gone by then. Adam Johnson probably gone as well.
Move on.
Let's not talk about him.
Move on. Ipswich. We must have got all there. How many players are we missing off the Ipswich side, do we think, Ben?
2.
Was there a really young Irish lad, Ben, who never amounted to anything for Ipswich?
Possibly.
Does he share his name but spelt differently with another Irish player from Ipswich?
I'm struggling.
That's a definite no.
Struggling
No.
with your clues.
What?
I'm going to have to
I'll
hurry
get
you
up.
now, boys.
Josh Carson. Throwing it in there.
You are
Let's move
out on Josh
Let's move
Carson, but bloody good effort. Right, you ready for this?
Go on,
Ipswich
yeah.
team red, full up. Jamie Peters,
Ah, Peter.
Macaulay
of course.
Smith,
Kevin Beattie's
Leadbitter,
favourite.
Edwards, Norris, Hyam, Mark Kennedy,
Sparky. The
Walters,
best reserve manager ever.
Friskin. On the bench, Murphy, Brown, Healy, Colin, Reggie Lamb,
Yeah.
Conor Hurahan, John Stead,
Oh,
Jack
wow.
Ainsley. And this Middlesbrough team is bizarre.
Go on.
Coyne,
Who's it?
Hoyt, Bates, Wheater, McManus, Thompson, Bailey, Flood, who Mikey did get,
Yeah, good shout.
Barry Robson, Scott McDonald, Chris Boyd, Jason Steele, Jonathan Grounds, Kink, I've never heard of, Julio Arca, Leroy Leiter, Liam Miller, and L. Williams. I don't know who. that
You're right.
might
They're
be.
full of Scots.
Three of the players in that Ipswich squad currently play their football in Suffolk.
Jack Ainsley
John
certainly
Walters,
does.
Jack Ainsley at Felixstowe Walton,
Yeah.
and Carlos Edwards at Woodbridge.
And
Carlos
for this
Evans
week's
at
quiz
Woodbridge.
question, which of those three players? Right, very good, boys. We have nearly got to the end. Thoughts? We've now got the international break. It's probably come at a good time, but Dave, are we in as big a muddle as I'm worried that we are now with selection?
I don't know, Ben. I really don't know what to quite make of it so far. I think you made a very good point. I think hopefully today, let's put that to one side. Today's a game we'll just hopefully revert to trying to play through the midfield as we were before. And I think a lot of that will depend on Hughes coming back. I think Hughes will add something to that if he comes back. I don't expect him to be in the side against Hull. He might. I don't see that. But just to have him there, back in the squad, I think back on the bench will give certainly Sport as a lift, I think. As I say, sometimes you just need the manager. Just needs to be a bit lucky and just strike on a formation, and all of a sudden it seems to like click in a place. I remember McCarthy. We've said this before. McCarthy doing it in 2014 away at Derby when I think there was injuries and someone an injury before half time. I think Bishop came on and it all sort of clicked and fell into place. So you almost need something like that. But yeah, there's a few. Maybe a square peg. Would it be square pegs? I'm not sure.
I was going to go with there's a few loose ends to be tied up.
Yeah, not square pegs in round holes. I don't think they are, but yeah, I think the core of the side. I think we'll all agree the core of the side. Gherkin or Bart, Chambers, Skews.
Good start.
Chambers, Skews. Who else is there? Nolan, I think perhaps, and Edwards. And then I think NCR play when he's back. I think NCR obviously not against Hull, but I think NCR. And then. Yeah, you're almost throwing him in the air, aren't you, a bit? And I guess Walters, for experience, it's interesting times, I think.
Mikey, your thoughts, and any chance we see Walters in the number 9 position, not the number 10 position next time?
Yeah, I suppose there's every chance, isn't there? Because
away.
I mean, away from home, and the problem is that with Harrison and Jackson, is they're struggling to get the ball to stick and hold it up. I think Walters does offer us something cutting in from either flank, like with winning the headers and things like that. But yeah, maybe it would suit to have him quite high up the pitch. But if he is that high up the pitch, then Gherkin's kicks won't reach him. That's a concern. But just one thing though, and I'm sure that everyone does this, but when I have a pen and a paper in my hand and I'm not necessarily doing much, rather than doodling, I find myself writing out what I think the Ipswich starting 11 should be in formation order. I don't know if either of you ever do that. I tried to do it a couple of days ago after all these loanees came in, and I just couldn't do it. I could only put about 4 names down, and one of them was Bart. So
that was my exact.
I'm sure Hurst he must have a better idea than I do, but God, it's just really hard. We seem to have a lot of players, and none of them are quite standout players. We've got some players that he's good at this and he's quite good at that. They're not so good at that. They're not so good at that. They're all kind of much of a muchness. So yeah, can't wait to have Hughes back and then just stick him right in there in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think the fullback as well. I think hopefully Danasi, because I think he was playing really. I think he was really. If that was the case today, I think he was really hard done by. But he had to get Walters in and Pennington, I guess. But yeah, Graham not sold.
Interesting. Okay, follow us on Twitter at Blue Monday ITFC, on the Facebook.com/Blue Monday ITFC. You can follow Dave at David Diamond 3 on the Twitter. Mikey, I always forget what yours is.
At Mikey_Smith 13.
Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. All of these podcasts go up on YouTube. Please watch on there, and if you don't, just click play and just let the first advert play through. That helps us a little bit, a very, very minute little bit, but it helps us nonetheless. We're going to be back with some more This Week in ITF history. We got some previews, but we're going to enjoy the 2 weeks off. So let's all have a little relax and
relax.
Yeah.
Are you doing a after match TNC, Ben?
Don't think so. No, I think I will return there whenever the next Norwich game is, and I will enjoy football until we once again play Norwich, where I don't enjoy football very much. But there we go. Dave, goodbye.
Cheers, guys.
Mikey, what have you got to be careful of?
You've got to be careful what you wish for.
Bye, everybody.
Even better back to Stewart. Oh, he turns to defend sweetly. Round the goalkeeper and scores a magnificent goal at the top end.